This is Eric Jesse again, and today's title of the in-home activity is Read Together and Talk Together. Okay, Jonah, for this one, I picked out a story for us to read together. Since we're obviously not together, I've found a YouTube video. It's a read aloud that we're going to listen and watch to together. And while we're reading or listening, I'm probably going to stop it every once in a while and think of some questions that I can ask you, just to kind of see where your understanding that is at and why certain things happened in the story. So don't be shocked if or surprised when I stop and maybe ask you a question. Okay, and then make connections. After we're done, we're gonna make connections to the story. Do you know what a connection is?
Um, it's when you relate a book or story or something to your personal life or the world or maybe to another book.
Yep. Okay, so we're good on that. And then we'll obviously talk about just the characters and some of the major events and challenges that maybe happened in the book. Yeah, is there any, and if obviously if there's any words that you maybe didn't understand or maybe don't know what it means, also remember that and we can talk about that. Sound
Um,
good?
mhm.
All right, let me know if you can see my screen. I just shared it now. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this book is called Too Much Glue. It's by Jason Life Brine. Ready?
Hmm.
Can you hear that?
Too Much Glue.
Yep.
Written by Jason Fett. Illustrated by Zach Rett. Creatively read and adapted by Mischief. Our art teacher said, "Too much glue never dries." Remember that, kids. She reminds us, "Raindrops, come on, not puddle." And she warns me, "Daddy, but my dad and I love glue. We make glue glasses, glue mustaches, and even glue bouncy balls. My mom's happy now." So, here in art class, I find the fullest bottles of glue, and I tip them over and sweet squishes from the orange tip and flop all over. Sequins and googly eyes float around in the gluey lake. Then it's time for the most important decoration. I belly flop onto the table and roll around, letting the glue and everything else totally cover me. "It's time to go to the drying rack," I announce. But when I try to pull myself off the table, I boing right back down. "Aw, too much glue, Daddy. Too much glue." My teacher squawks. Yeah. It's only half an hour until the end of school, and all I can do is lift my head, wave my hands, and wiggle my feet. The rest of me is a bluffy, sassy mess. While my teacher breathes into a paper bag, Noah shouts,
Why do you think the teacher was breathing into a paper bag? Any idea?
I'm pretty sure people do that when they're stressed sometimes.
Yep. Okay, that's one reason to do it. Have you ever heard of hyperventilating?
Nope.
Okay, it's kind of this medical thing that happens. And if you breathe into the bag, it kind of helps relax you and calm you. It's kind of like an anxiety thing. You get a little too worked up, and certain things can happen. And breathing into the bag kind of helps calm you down and regulates your breathing at a better level. So,
"Hey, let's laugh again." Izzy, Noah, and Owen get to work. Soon, I'm roped from all sides like a rodeo pony. But when they try to pull me out, the lasso breaks, leaving colorful octopus-like tentacles everywhere. The glue is too strong.
octopus like tentacles. Any idea what that means? Do you know what an
Um,
octopus is?
I know what an octopus is. I don't know what the word tentacles means.
Okay, so tentacle is So on the octopus, like the little leg dangly things on an octopus, that is what it's called, a tentacle. So does that kind of make sense how in the book they say octopus like tentacles? It kind of sort of looks like a octopus's tentacle.
Yeah, it makes no sense now.
And now, on a clean, stringy, lucky sucky note. Yeah, don't worry, Maddie. You know what to do. Shouts Luke and Grace from across the room. Is that a tow truck? I ask as they wheel the contraption over and stick a plastic hook into my suit of glue. My friends pull one way and the glue pulls the other. Until boom! The tow truck explodes and plastic bricks rain all over. Now I'm a clicky bricky, stringy, stringy, lucky sucky mess. The school nurse bursts in and checks my temperature. 98. Sorry, no fever. I cannot send you home early. She dabs and pats me like I'm still juice. But the more she blots, the more the glue spreads. Soon I'm a melted mummy, clicky bricky, stringy, stringy, lucky, sucky mess. Then the principal comes in. Takes one look at me, sticks a stick note on my belly, and then leaves. Seeing my teacher huffing and puffing like a train gives me an idea. To Haley and Owen. The final bell rings and everyone freezes except for Owen and Haley. It's the biggest one we could make, they shouted, fiercely clapping a huge paper fan at me. Then, just as I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be a note on my tummy, melted mummy, clicky bricky, stringy, stringy, lucky sucky glue boy for the rest of my life, my plan. Something my teacher said could never happen, happened. The glue dropped. Yeah, but I'm still stuck. And now I hear footsteps. The door starts to open. My father and some other carpool parents are in. Dad comes closer and inspects me. Then he peels me off the table, blue yarn ripped and all. And he spins me around. No one makes a sound. And Dad smiles. You're a man. Everyone to admire. My friends all cheer. I gotta say the card ride home is interesting. Mom is speechless when Dad brings me out, but she knows what to do. Well, kiddo, Dad said, some beautiful things only happen once, and this is one of those things. He gently grips the dried glue in front of my neck and behind my collar, and he peels me open like a ripe banana. Now it's Dad's turn to glue. He peels up the side of the V-shaped artwork. I bet it would take all the glue in the art room to make a U-shaped work of art, right, Dad? I say. Dad laughs. Then he glues a big magnet to the back of my project. He turns and hangs it on the fridge. During dinner, we sneak peeks at my masterpiece. And after dinner, we take the principal's note very seriously. It says, from the desk of Elmer G. Stuckman, please encourage Maddie to use tape instead of glue. D-E-N.
Why do you think they said use tape instead of glue?
Because the glue made all of that happen, and tape does almost the same thing.
Yeah, not quite as messy, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, were there any words that maybe while we were listening that came across that you didn't understand either, or was just the tentacles one that was kind of confusing?
Just the tentacle ones.
Yeah, kind of a weird word too, something that doesn't get used a lot. So what were okay, obviously the characters was Maddie, and any other characters besides that you can
Um, I think one of the kids was named Owen. The mom and the dad, the teacher, the principal, the school nurse, and the other kids. I don't remember their names.
Yeah, there was a lot of them. Yeah, that's pretty much all the characters, honestly. Any major events, and obviously the challenge is pretty easy. What was the challenge in the book?
That he got stuck in glue and he couldn't get out, so he had to figure out how to just get out of the glue.
Why do you think that he couldn't get out of the glue?
Because, well, it's glue and it makes you stick to the stuff. Like if you like it sticks stuff to it. So if you get on it, it may be hard to get off of it.
Do you have experience using glue?
Yeah, I use glue a lot.
So could you see if you used a lot like that, how you could maybe get stuck in your fingers
Yeah.
or something? Yeah, hopefully never happens. But any connections that you made to the story while we were listening?
I've made some connections to some things I've done in school where I've sometimes put too much glue on something, and it and if I try and move it, I maybe couldn't or something.
Yeah, and just probably like super wet and just kind of runny and messy in general.
hmm
Any other challenges and or events that really stood out besides the him getting dried in the glue and the principal coming and everything?
Um, not really. Besides that, his family uses glue a lot. Sort of an important part of the book to know, but
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the basically the in-home activity, the read together and talk together. Is that something that you think you enjoyed and would like doing at a later date?
yeah, I might try and use it sometimes at my school. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, thanks for hanging out and putting up with me.